Today, we're going to be discussing what we call change your personal rules for success. And the question is, what do you do when you're wanting results, yearning for results, but you keep hitting the same roadblock, you keep hitting the same ceiling? Well, guys, once again, we are in our another session of the book, once again, U Squared by Price Pritchett. If you don't have this book, I strongly suggest that you get this book, guys. And once again, there are other series in it. I'm gonna leave some links down below where you can go back and watch. You know, we've been walking through it, so I got 4 sessions already recorded for you. But today I want to encourage you to really start to think about your results as it relates to your behaviors and things like that. And also, you guys, many of you all may know this, you may not know, but I am an author. And so you're starting to see me share some things because we have our new book called Creating a Life of Freedom, using 4 steps, you all, to 10x your business, get your life back on track. And we'll be dropping that book, in a 5-day challenge going along with that sometime in October, probably around the October 10th, October 15th, okay? So we are very excited about that. And with further ado, let me get into this right here, okay? So now we're on this chapter, Success, Change Your Personal Rules for Success. Now, he says in the book, when you're talking about leveraging up your personal effectiveness by an order of magnitude going from U to U squared. Now, remember, I have a video that just went over U squared. We took a deep dive into it. It's a little longer, but trust me, you're going to appreciate the information. And we understand that U squared is not a commonplace idea. For me to tell you that you can make your yearly income in a month, okay, and we teaching people, we got clients that we're teaching literally right now in one of our programs, then to some people, that's not a commonplace idea, to be honest with you, it's illogical. So you should not be surprised to hear that unconventional success calls for unconventional approaches. And so I'm gonna tell you right now, if you want to accelerate your rate of achievement rapidly, you must search out and vigorously, watch this, guys, employ new behaviors. And that's pretty much what we're getting ready to do, because think about it, your daily routine. Now, I have a millionaire routine that we do that is somewhere around here. I'll try to find it and put a link down below once again. But the reason I put that together because people started to ask me, well, Doc, what do you do on a daily basis? What's your daily routine? How do you, get the things you want and get to the places where you're trying to go? What's your routine? Because you seem to be disciplined and you seem to have, a good systematic way of approaching thinking things. And I said, you're right. And so I put that together. But here's the thing, you all. Quantum leaps require paradoxical behavior. I want you to write that down. Because if you're going to think quantum leaps, if you're going to U square you, you're going to U square your finance. If you want a 5x, 6x, 10x, 12x, I'm telling you, it's people out here are having $25,000 days, guys. I'm serious, man. People in our programs that are tripling their monthly income, tripling their annual income just by taking the programs and listening to what we're saying. So we know this works, but it does require you to have some good mentorship and to actually do the exercise that we're subscribing to you to do, okay? So then think about this for a minute. Unusual moves. I like the way that sounds. Unusual move, actions that on the surface often seem to contradict common sense. Now that's a risk because, for me, you all, I was a very methodical thinker. It has to be ... systematic, ABC, until I started studying this material. And then it got me calm, y'all. It broke some barriers off. It freed me from some things. And now we're just talking about manifesting things that's beyond comparison and beyond our imagination. And that's where we are because this book helps you do that. Now look at something that Price says in this book. He says, human beings, though we ordinarily go with the obvious, we fall into the habit of relying on behaviors that seem to have worked best for us over the years. When we take an approach that seems to be very serviceable and which enables us to perform well and succeed, we become very attached to it. Now listen at this, you all. We don't readily relinquish that habit pattern. In fact, there's a tendency to follow our favorite approach more and more often, such that we get better and better at handling things that particular way. Now, he's not saying that it's not good to rely on and to keep the habits that are working for you. But the detriment happens, you all, when we hold on to habits and behavior patterns that are not working anymore. Listen, I remember saying on TV, they say, Yesterday's prices are not today's prices, all right? And what that means is with the way the inflation is going up, the economy is changing, the housing market is doing what it's doing, we have a hyperinflation right now where things cost more. So if you're still trying to live life on the small budget that you had before, you got to change the way of thinking. That don't mean minimize what you're doing. That means make more, earn more. You got to really, and to do that, you got to start thinking out of the box, right? You got to change your routine. So he says the adroitness with a certain approach results in our overdependence on strategies and tactics that have been or have become outdated, antiquated. So you resist new maneuvers because they make you feel clumsy, awkward, and more at risk. Guys, a lot of people resist new ideas, new concept, new partners, right? Because they're trying to hold on to the thing that's old. They're trying to hold on, they're trying to hold on to the past and to the glory days, but not realizing that you can repeat, you can duplicate, wash, rinse, and repeat. You keep the same goal. You just have to change the methodologies. You have to change your behaviors, y'all. So if you want to accelerate your rate of achievement rapidly, remember, you must search out and employ new behaviors. Now, we understand that we teach that your behavior patterns is controlled by your paradigm. And you've probably heard this before, but you probably haven't taken a deep dive into paradigm, because a paradigm is simply your multitude of habits. But it's not just the multitude of habits. It's your environment. It's the way you grew up. It's what books you read. It's your mindset. It's everything that comes into play that helps you make a decision for your life. And so if you're used to using antiquated, outdated systems and processes of where you're thinking, then you're going to approach it. Your perception is going to be different, right? So then we get into the higher frequencies and the higher faculties that helps you do these things. Your decision-making process, your ability to, understand a trend and understand what's hot and understand how long you're supposed to be in an investment and things of that nature. All of this plays and have a direct correlation with your behavior patterns. So he then goes on to say, but if you want to accelerate, you got to employ these new behaviors, but you also have to employ new attitudes. And so we take a deep dive into attitudes, you all. I want to tell you, attitude is just not how you feel or how you look at something. Attitude is how you think about a thing, how you feel about a thing, and how you act. Okay, all of that is designs your attitude. So you have to be willing to go back to the drawing board. You got to be willing to go back to the place of origin, which is your behavior patterns. And this is why I'm telling you that you got to change your personal rules for success. Which means you got to change your behavior patterns if, in fact, you want to experience this quantum leap that we're talking about. So the things that worked for you in the past very likely could, or sooner or later, lose their serviceability. Because it's called evolution, you all. Even in your company or customary approach, holding on and maintaining the present level, if you want to get to higher levels, you got to change your performance. That means you got to change the behavior. Now, I hope this is landing with you all. It's a lot of more material down here, but I want to stop right there and I want to share with you now. Anytime you make a decision, I'm closing the book. Anytime you make a decision and you really want to get rapid results, now I'm talking to you from experience, for real. You have to anchor your decisions in action. That means when you decide to do something, you need to take action immediately, now. Take it right now, guys, all right? Because if you do not, you end up shelving it. Something is always going to happen. Something is always going to come up. This is why when I talk to potential clients about taking our program and our courses, whether it's thinking to the results or whether it's another one on business mastery or what have you, or, whatever we're doing, creating that life of freedom in these 4 moves. You got to make a decision. Once you make the decision, committed, irrevocable decision, something happens in the universe. You say, well, Fave, what happens in the universe, Faves? I'm telling you, what happens is you begin to start to imagine yourself with the end result that you want. That puts you on the frequency or the wavelength of it, okay? So imagine if you're down here, okay, let me get this. Imagine if you're right here, but the goal you want is up here, say 10K a month, 20K a month, 50K a month. What you got to do now, if you're right here, you got to think about getting to the frequency up here, then reverse engineer it so that you can start thinking and making decisions on this level and not down here. And this is where mentorship, elite coaching comes into play, because I'm going to show you how to make the decision from up here, which is where I am. So if I have the results, right? If we can show you how to get 25K a month and manifest this stuff, if 50K a month, if you have the desire to be up here, and you're here, then let us coach you and get you up here. And that's what Quantum Leaps is. You don't have to take this incremental, what, take me 2 years, 4 years, 6 years, 7 years, 9 years, 10 years. Man, what I'm telling you all, I've been there, done that. Trust me, it's old news. What it took me 10 years to learn, you all, I can literally teach you that in maybe 6 to a year. Now, would that not be valuable? Would that not be worth it to learn how to 10x your income? Because if you want to be a millionaire, just chunk it down. What does that mean? That means you need to be doing about 100K a month, really about 83 something. In over 12 months, it'll be $1 million. So you reverse engineer from where you are. But I'm telling you, you can do this in quantum leaps if you change your behavior. You know, I really could title this peak performance, because behavior patterns and performance go hand in hand. Now, once again, guys, I'm getting ready to get out of here, but let me share this with you. I'm going to leave a link down below to one of my books. I got several books that I've written. This one here, I think, makes maybe 9 or 10, actually. But I got one written that's called The 7 Principles to Success. And I want you to take it out. It's going to be totally free. I'm going to leave a link down below. And I want you to check it out so you can get used to and start seeing some of the material that we're using in our program and see if it blesses you. I know it will. But I want to introduce you to it. It's a small book. It's not a big book. It's an easy read. You can probably read it within a day or two, on a nice, get you a cup of coffee, cup of tea, nice cool weather, just wrap up with a blanket and read it. But what I want you to understand is this is the season for quantum leaps, the season for you to really achieve the goals, the big goals that you want. I'm asking that if something resonates with you here, let me be the one to help you. I'm seriously putting that out there. Yes, I am. So with that being said, you all, this is Doc Favors. Hey, remember this. Remember, quantum leaps, U squared, but you got to change your behavior patterns, okay? And that means developing a new routine. This is Doc Favors. You all, appreciate all of you all. If something resonates with you, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe button, share the broadcast. Leave your boy some comments down below, man. I love reading your comments and hearing from you. And also, let me know what you think about the information. And with that being said, let's continue to stay positive on purpose and not by accident. It's Doc Favors. We'll see you next time.